Good morning. We had a lot of snow yesterday. Neighbors were good enough to help me get the front walk and the stairs done for the poor postman. And I've still got the backyard and the driveway to deal with. I don't know. Got this stinking problem with my arm, so I don't know how much I'm actually going to get done today. I'm not going to worry about it though. You know, I can get in and out of the driveway and so on and so forth. I'm trying to get the monitor phone to come up here. There we go. Come on. Yeah. It's supposed to be easy. Ha. Okay, there we go. So I didn't get a lot new since last night's video. Hey, Dave, first one in as always. Basically what I spent yesterday doing, I broke down a lot of older computers I wanted to try to up my inventory of hard drive boards and so on and so forth. I also did a lot of work on those Allen Organ boards. So let me just go through some of this for grading purposes. I know a lot of you already know about this, but I get a lot of new people who don't. I get a lot of questions about what do I look for when I e-scrap. What do I, what should I buy? What should I save? What should I buy to process? Those kind of things. So let's go through some of the things that we harvested yesterday. And, they'll be available, of course. So this is called a socket 7 motherboard. It grades as a large plastic socket, and these are paying very well at both BoardSort and cellularboards.com. It's because of the gold content. These are awesome. These are really good, high quality gold pins. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera or not, but the expansion cards, these slots, and the RAM slots, that might be the other way around. Really super rich gold recovery. Somebody texted me yesterday, I think it might have been Nita, about how you would get the gold out of these. You'd have to heat it from the back hair dryer or some such thing. Some people throw them into toaster ovens. I'm sure you could hashtag how to remove gold from electronics and so on and so forth. So there's a lot of gold recovery in these. This came out of an old NEC computer. Matter of fact, it was the computer that was being used to power all that telecom equipment that I pulled the other day. These are a better board, not only because of the gold. I did get a really nice Pentium ceramic out of here. You usually get a nice ceramic out of these. And I sold some. I sold about half of those the other day. And but I am holding on to the gold caps. Those I'm saving. So yeah, if you can get an older computer, and it has a socket 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know why they call it socket 7. I have no idea, but it says so right there. But yeah, these pay very well. You've got nice BGA chips. If you're harvesting and depopulating, you want to take all of these things off. For me, this is something I won't depopulate this. These I sell directly to my board buyers as is. This is a lot more work than I want to get into. And I don't want to send them in stuff that's depopulated all the time or they won't like me very much. I have one advantage, and my advantage is that I both buy and sell boards. So I know exactly what can be removed, what can't be removed, what should be removed, what shouldn't be removed. you know, things like that. And good morning to you, Alan. Sister says remove those by putting them on the barbecue. I see convection ovens. I see toaster ovens. Who was using an air fryer the other day? I think Moira was. A convection oven or some such thing. Eric, good morning. Angry Bird, good morning. All right, so let me go through some of the things that we harvested off that big batch of computers I picked up on Monday. They were older IBM's workstations, a couple of servers. They were older, and they did yield a pretty good harvest. Now I'm having a complete and total brain hiccup because I can't remember what these are called. Don't tell me hard drive boards, that much I know. There's actually 3 grades of hard drive boards. One is the pinned non-SATA with the IDE connector and the 48 gold pins. Then there's these. This is gold inside of here. And one of my buyers agrees with me, and we grade these as high-grade boards. I always felt these were high-grade boards. One of my other board buyers says no, but I think he's changing his mind. These were kind of the boards that were in between. They're high-grade, no question. There's gold here. They don't have the 48 pins like this, so what happens is they get bumped down to SATA, which is a lower-grade board. That is not a SATA grade board to this girl. I wouldn't buy it as a SATA grade board. I wouldn't sell it as a SATA grade board. Well, these are very high quality. If you can't get RAM, you know, there's great chips on these. And these all came off of old IBMs. These are all from old IBM workstation. It even says IBM on them. Look at the gold. And you can process these. I mean, you just skim the chips off, you throw this into a solution, you've got some gold recovery there. Not for me, that's for other people. So I'm having a complete and total brain hiccup as to what these are called. I knew yesterday and I can't remember. I'm tired. I worked hard yesterday. I pulled my, oh my God. We pulled the dry, I did it by myself with my bad arm after I got done with what shoveling I could do. We have a lot of snow outside. As a matter of fact, when it gets a little warmer, I've got to go outside and try to deal with some more of it. But I'm still dealing with this. I actually have bursitis, which I don't know if you've ever had it, but right there, it is one of the most painful things I've ever dealt with. Stephanie, I bought the computers for 40 cents a pound, which is fair buy rate. It's a seller I've worked with for quite some time. He has an IT business, and because I buy the computers whole and I depopulate them myself, I'm able to get this. I think the other part to that answer. Hi, Thirsty Camel. Good morning. I think the other part to that answer, Stephanie, is you have to really know what's inside of the computer. Don't be afraid to ask a seller to open up one or two and show you a sample, which I always do before I go. But having done this for as long as I have, I know computers that are not iCore carry a much better yield for those of us who are doing recycling, reselling, selling to board buyers, gold refining, whatever it is you're actually doing. So I think studying and being more certain of what's in the computer and not overpaying is a really good idea. Now, what I'm going to do with this gentleman is I'm going to process the computers, and I'm going to send him a percentage. It saves him and me both a lot of time. But again, I've been working with this guy a long time, so his computers go on a spreadsheet. You know, I list everything that's come out of it, I'll weigh it all up, and I will send him. As a matter of fact, I'll bring him a check, hopefully Monday if the weather is better. He's got another car full of computers for me, which I really don't want right now, but you can't, he needs to move stuff, and I'm going to need product. I'm going under construction again. The kitchen is going to get redone in 2 weeks. So, yeah, you know, educate yourself a little bit before you just go out and buy stuff, or you're going to really totally get burnt. So these came from computers that were, the newer computers are plastic rubbish. There's really very little of any quality in them anymore. Unless you're lucky enough to get a newer I-Core chip or DDR4 or DDR5 RAM. So those things are good. Yeah, guys, do me a favor, don't forget to double tap, and please do hit the like button. This is my usual Sunday morning time to come on. Do me a favor, Disguise 3D Solutions. Send me a message, because if I try to go back to the comments, I'm going to forget. He wants to know if I'm willing to show the spreadsheet. Basically what I do is I list these components by the pound, and you know, he knows my, and I give him my selling price. That's going to be my buying price, and he, you know, and I make the deal with him that way. I mean, everybody bases their pricing on board sort. It's just, yes, of course. Yeah, I will. Also, I will post this if I remember to stay under an hour. Right now, I better set the timer. If I go over the hour, it's on my other channel, and I can't say it or I get a restriction. Let me. Just set the timer here, because what TikTok does is you have to get verified after an hour, and but I don't want to go over the hour because I don't want to. I want to be able to repost this later. So that was that, and these were the IBM hard drives I got. Again, they're higher grade. Board sort might put them as a SATA low grade, but I'll tell you one thing about board sort. If you rate them and you ask them and you talk to them, they're going to listen. They are so respectful. And when I sent the last batch of these in, he did give me the upgrade, and I have a feeling he will also add a third grade, third level of grading hard drives. I think there should be one. I offer one, and so on and so forth. Now, Dave Donahue bought some boards from me the other day, but he got his are all the gold pins SATA. But you can't tell me this is low grade hard drive board. You know, I'm gonna laugh at you. Well, I'm not gonna laugh at you. I wouldn't do that. That would be really snotty and rude and mean, and those adjectives don't apply to this kid. So again, all right, whoops, smash, sugar beans and bologna. Now I mixed up the bags. Oh no, I crossed the streams. Ghostbusters. Now this is a lower grade SATA. You can see the difference, right? I mean, so this has the SATA connectors. There'll be a black, blue, red, then there'll be a cable and another cable. And it'll say SATA red on the hard drive itself, actually. So these are your lower grade boards. They have the gold like that. So these are lower grade. You'll find these in fairly new computers. Even though it's got a lot of chips and stuff, it doesn't have the gold recovery that the other one does. I don't have any of the high grade SATA boards right now. They're boxed up, ready to be shipped. I sold those. And again, so these have to be graded, no question, as SATA connectors. I've got probably a pound of those or so. So for those of you who are asking about the spreadsheets, what I'll do is I'll take his computers, and there's two ways to do it. One, you could list every single computer and it'll take you forever, or you can just weigh out the entire lot. For example, 10 pounds of RAM or 5 pounds of hard drive boards, and I put the price next to it. So his stuff is all in one big pile, in other words. I don't mix it up. I try to work on one project at a time, so I don't get all mixed up with that, and that's the only way I can really do it. And then of course I pay him. I don't pay for the metal, because that's really more of a pain in my ass to get rid of than anything else. Light iron pays squat right now, and it just barely covers my gas to go to the yard and back. But this is where I make my money, reselling quality components, and that's my area of expertise. So this is another 1 pound bag of the high grade. And again, you know, I'll get this weighed up. I'll send him a report. And hi, Scorpion Metals. Good morning to you. Thank you, Disguise 3D Solutions. I do see your message went through. Good morning, Todd Olson. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Reset my goal. I gotta try to go in and figure that out. Reset my goal. I'm gonna have to go find a TikTok video on how to reset my goal. Alright. Always, you know, RAM. There's good RAM and mediocre RAM. And I separate mine. The RAM that I resell, you need to find me a moderator. I thought about it, you know, and actually only recently have I started joining in, and I've been invited to a couple of lives, so I'm starting to dip the toes in the water with all of that. So this is the RAM that I put aside for resale directly. And this RAM I separate. It's a little bit lower grade. It's nothing wrong with it. And pound for pound, eventually, yes, it'll kind of balance out. But this is what you'll find in your PCs usually. It won't have the two sides. So I know, because I know my market, most of my buyers prefer the two-sided. So I do keep that separated. See, this is what I resell, and then this is kind of just off somewhere else. It's just nothing wrong with it. It's still good RAM and there's still good gold recovery, but I separate it. And this is, you know, the better RAM is what I prefer to resell to you guys. I don't know offhand. Ionis Raphael, I don't know how many gigs they are. They feel like they're probably 4. I had somebody come over the other day to buy some stuff, and he was really good at identifying DDR by where the notch was. Yeah, that's, you can see, I can see this was different. So this might be like DDR3 or 4, you know, and I don't know. That would be pure speculation on my part. And I don't know. I just know that I separate the good RAM from the not so good RAM. And even this one, you know, they're different. The slot is in a different spot. So I guess it, oops, I lied. I lied like a rug. I don't know. I know what he said, but I don't know how to apply what he said. This is about a pound of RAM, give or take a little bit. And this is actually DDR2. Homie, how you been? Long time no talk. I've been watching, but haven't caught you live. So that is the better quality RAM, and that is what I do resell to. What did I say? I've forgotten. My dad used to say it. And this is another baggie I started of SATA, not the high grade. So these are SATA connectors, and that's just another bag I started. So all of this material for the gentleman who sold me the computers is in its own little box. It's all bagged, it's all weighed, and then when I'm done, I'll weigh it all up. I'll weigh the internals. And then when I go to the scrapyard, I'll add the scrap metal Scrap bundles, like I said, it's really just a pain in the neck more than anything. So that takes care of that. Those are all the things I got from my let's just call him my West Haven seller. Those are the things I got out of there. I'll finish processing out his computers, and then I'll send him a check for a fair percentage. You know, because I'm either going to resell them to you guys, or I'm going to sell them to Zach over at sellmyboards.com. Looking for a place to sell, guys. He's very, very good. He's here on TikTok as well. The other thing too, if you're new to selling boards and you don't know how to sort your boards, Zach will sort them for you. And he knows what he's doing. It's a lot easier, but it's a lot easier for your buyer when you send them in all sorted. Now, like I tend to send a box of socket 7s. I'll send them all in together. Dual socket motherboards, I'll send them together. It's easier for them. It's quicker. I mean, you have to realize they're getting Gaylord boxes and truckloads of boards that they don't have time to sit there and sort it all. We sold the PC for 32 gigabytes. Oops, I went by. Where's Zach? I have watermelon totes of boards, LOL. Zach owns sellyourboards.com. He's here on TikTok. Oh, God, he's hilarious. So these are some other things I've been pulling out. And again, that takes care of my West Haven computers. These are really nice connector pins that I've been getting. These came from Dell blade modules. This, blade servers. They're the smaller ones, about yay by yay, not those big Kavunza things. And they have really nice gold recovery on them. I'm putting those into 1 pound bags. I've got more down in the basement. But, you know, that wasn't from my West Haven. That was from the Dell blade modules. Really nice gold recovery. I mean, you know, they got to be snipped there, but still, nice gold recovery on those. So when I find things that really have good gold recovery, I try to put them aside. And when I have a notable quantity, I put them up for sale. These I don't send. Ah! I don't like pins with my coffee. So those are those. These pins are super good quality. They came off of hard drives, off the hard drive bodies. They're connector pins and they're really good quality. One of these holds about 8 grams. I've got a couple down in the basement. You know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. You know, don't just toss the body of the hard drive away without going after it. Now, I sell my hard drives directly to my scrapyard, just purely because of the volume of stuff that comes across my table. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. I would appreciate that a whole bunch. Now we're on to the Allen computer organ boards. This was an order that came in Thursday, or excuse me, not Thursday, Tuesday, the day before Christmas Eve. And there are 300 and something boards in this order. I didn't expect them to be sent to me, so I didn't see the guy. He said, "Can I have your address? I'm going to send you some stuff." Well, he did, which is good. I mean, I tell people to look at my you-know-where store and just look at my feedback, and it gives them a lot of reassurance that I'm a good, honest buyer, and I am. You know, I wouldn't treat somebody any less than I want to be treated myself. So these had a lot of different boards, and what I did is I've gone through them and I've sorted them out, and this is from 1989. Just because it has a slot for an EEPROM on it or a ceramic doesn't necessarily mean that there should have been one there or there would have been one there. But what happens is when a board buyer looks at this, they're going to say, well, where the hell is the EEPROM? You took it off, and I'm going to downgrade you to low-grade telecom. Not all, but some. Now, like I said, I have a good working relationship with all of my buyers, so I usually will enclose a note to let them know that it was not configured with that. See, when they print this printed circuit board, they print the board. Boy, look at that, huh? Juicy! And then it's up to whoever's programming or designing or building the components to add the appropriate circuitry. So it causes ripples in the board buying department. Like this one. This is going to go as a high-grade telecom, just like this. It has a lot of circuitry and it's not as well defined, but for me, I'm going to leave this on this board, and I'm going to leave all of this on here. This is good value. This will be able to go as a high-grade telecom. If I take the EEPROMs and the ceramics off, forget it. It's going to go as a peripheral high-grade board, if I'm lucky. So I really had to go through each of these. They're not gold-legged, by the way, guys. I knocked a couple apart the other day. They are gold underneath, you know, as you'd expect in ceramics. And but they're not gold-legged, or I'd be sitting on a fortune. So I went through all these. The ones that are high-grade telecom, this one. Here's another one. Now this one too, you can see. There's 5 EEPROMs. They put the 5 on. They didn't on some of the other ones. So my buyer's going to be going through these and be like, what the heck? Where are the EEPROMs? Where are the ceramics? I expected those to be on there. And, you know, that's going to cause an issue. So without these EEPROMs, I would get telecom low for this. There's some empty space. It's not completely covered with circuitry, with ceramics. And again, save yourself a headache. If there's going to be a question as to how they're going to grade it, send your board buyer an email. Jack is very receptive, so is Chris over at BoardSort. They'll call you right away. Here's another one, and this one I did depopulate. I took the ceramic off. This is a Dallas switch. It's plastic, and it says Dallas on it. And there's just copper under there, so they don't want the Dallas switches. Dallas switches don't pop off anyway. But this didn't have any EEPROMs here. So I took this one, I took this, and I took the one that was here. Now, I can do a couple things with this board. I can probably sell it as is, just like this, as a low-grade telecom, if I leave this on. If I take this off, I probably could still get telecom low. I'm doing the eeny, meeny, miny, mo with a lot of these, trying to figure out where the best value is going to be. The thing with this, where are you ever going to get gold fingers like this? You know. So I have some that are on the. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them yet. Same thing with this. Now this didn't come through with any EEPROMs. It could go as a telecom low without a problem. I even think if I take the gold fingers off, I can still get telecom low for it. The issue is going to be here. There's not any space here, and these EEPROMs are not on the board. I didn't take them off. It came that way. So these are things I have to consider. For me, let me see. Hang on a second, guys. I broke them into a couple of different categories. Again, see, this has excellent gold recovery, but to a buyer, this is dead space now. There's no, these have been taken off. I myself, if I took the gold fingers off, I would probably grade this. It's close to being low telecom, but more likely to get graded as peripheral high grade. You could also sell it as a gold finger card. But you really got to be careful sorting these. Oh, Sketch the Alien. Is that where you wound up? Did you go over to cable management in Meriden there? And Sketch's comment. I sent him over. He wanted to sell some of the boards he had bought from me last year, and I directed him to a fairly reasonable place over in Meriden, but we decided not to sell them, which sketch, I'm glad you did that, because there's a lot of stuff we all should be holding. So here's another board. Now, those of you who know how to grade boards, where would you grade this as? I'll give you about 10 seconds and then I'll tell you what I wound up doing with it. Take a look at the chips, take a look at the space, take a look at the EEPROMs and circuitry and wasted space. Nobody answered. High grade IT. It is high grade IT. I would grade this as a telecom low. Why? It's covered with chips. It's only missing these two EEPROMs. It's not bad, but see, unlike some of the others, there's circuitry here. Even without the gold fingers. That could go as a telecom low. I would never deliberately screw over my board buyers. I would never do it, and I would inquire of them their feelings on the matter before I took the liberty to depopulate it or some such thing. Don't forget, a lot of these they came through like this. Like this one, there were no EEPROMs on it, so telecom low. And you know, again, some of them are borderline, but like I said, I know enough about it that I think I'll be all right. Now, some of the boards, I think I got the other boxes downstairs. Crap. Some of the other boards I got out of this have like nothing on them. They have like 2 rows of these and the gold fingers. Those I might sell as gold finger cards, or I'll cut them and I'll just sell them as a peripheral low-grade board. I've still got a bit of work to do on these, but to send a crummy board with this kind of gold is a foolish mistake. This weighs 0.5 grams in and of itself. So, you know, you put a few together with these, and I don't remember what they're going. Why do I think 80 a pound? On clean gold fingers, but I have to cut these outside. I don't know if you can see this. This is copper under here, and if you cut this inside, you're going to, number one, you're going to stink up your house and you're going to have a filthy, dusty mess. But you can get metal toxicity poisoning if you're not careful cutting boards. That also weighs into my decision with what I'm going to do with these. If I need to go quick and easy, I'll pile them in boxes and I'll send them out. But, you know, honestly, guys, this is just of too good. The value is too good on these to just rush through them. I mean, you don't see gold fingers like this. These are beautiful. This is from 1989. It's upside down, I know. Allen Organ Company. What these were, these are sound cards. They come out of something called a sound cage. I have people, Asan asks, where do I get these? I advertise. You know, and I've been at this for almost 7 years now. So I reached out to electronics companies, I reached out to telecom companies, I reached out to scrap yards, I reached out to people who do office cleanup. It's just over the 7 years I've built, you know, I've built this board buying business and board selling. I've helped 2 scrap yards set up their e-scrap department. One threw me to the curb. Nice guy, he's making buku bucks and I got kicked to the curb, but that's all right. I'm doing this and I like doing this. What else happened? I mean, I could bundle these all up and I could send them out as is. But see, I think I know I can get telecom low on this board. I didn't remove these, not on this board. I didn't do that. And I would have to make sure my buyer understood the board came to me that way. And I think, you know, I think they will. You know, Zach gets it, Chris gets it. You know, but I've got to look at where is my value going to be. Am I better off selling this as a low-grade telecom board with the fingers? Or am I better taking the fingers off and still trying to get low-grade telecom? I know what's better for me, but you know, I'm in the ponderance stage with a lot of these. So these came out of Allen Organs. Allen is a church organ and theater organ company. Can you test the circuits? Maybe some of them are good. I don't know. That's just not for me, and I don't have the time, and I don't have the space, and I don't have the expertise. OTD mentioned that about the circuits too. You know, for me, it's just going to be sell the board as is. This one came through with plenty of circuitry and mezzamets on the gold fingers. I don't know if you can see this, but if you cut this board and throw it into solution, you're going to get very good gold yield. Even this one, see the gold? There's a lot of gold here. So anyway, that's where I'm at today. I'm going to how to start a scrap business. Well, start writing to people, call people. Get yourself a good education so you can give them an accurate answer. Nobody mentions roaches love old electronics. You're absolutely right, One Lemon. There's a lot of stuff that never makes it into the house. I disassemble it outside, and if it's going to get scrapped, it's going to get hosed anyway. These were claimed, though. These came from an inside gig. These came from a church organ. These would plug into the world's biggest backplane board, just like that. And each one of these controllers causes a different combination of sounds. It tells the organ what sound it's supposed to make. We push something called the stop. There are buttons and there's levers. You see organists doing this all the time. You have to be part octopus to be an organist. Shoot, lost my train of thought. Train left. Even this is gold. That's gold flashed right there. Allen Organ, 1989. So I have to do a little more work and a little more math, my favorite thing. Yuck. Like I said, the lower grade boards definitely will get the gold fingers cut off and the EPROMs removed. But these higher grade ones, I really have to, check with my board buyer before I sell them out. This one, there would be no question. That's telecom high. Even though these are tantalums, gold flashing it, and I just noticed this in the light, the gold is not as good on this. You can see the difference. A little more silver to it. 1992. Sure, it's a newer board, so it's not as, this is 1989, this is 1992. I don't know if you can see the difference. I only just caught it in the sunlight. So something like this, I would probably just sell this telecom high, leave the gold fingers. They're not the quality that these are. It's like I literally have to go through each one, send myself over a checklist and make a decision board by board. Sure is. Some people would take this, they take an ear chisel and they get all the ceramics off and then go ahead and process the board for gold recovery. I think it's a great board for gold recovery. You know, you're going to get plenty of gold off of that. So, to each their own, huh? Well, I'd like to say thank you to all of you who spent some time with me this morning. I don't have anything else new on the table. This was a really nice chip. This is a pinned metal back CPU. It's an AMD chip. I got that out of some computer I was working on yesterday. So today I will be, I've got to go outside. I don't want to, but I have to. I've got to go try to deal with some of the ice and snow. I can't do very much though. Oh, I was telling you about the pins out of the hard drives. There's good pins here, and then when you pull the board, there's going to be gold pins over here. That's just going to be a low grade board. So we did a little bit of a recap on some of the components that I got out of the pickup from Monday. I'm going to try to finish that today. So at least I can get him a check for the components when I see him on Monday to pick up the other things. These, again, the lower grade ones, I know I'm going to pull the EPROMs and I'm going to cut the, I'm going to take the gold fingers. I have to make a decision board by board about the other ones, and I do have to contact both of my board buyers to see what they would do. Hi Todd Olson, how are you? What were these used for? These were from an Allen Organ. I think the guy who I got them from must have been an installer or a technician or something, as I've never seen so many in my entire life. You'll see boards like this on telecom equipment as well. I have one pickup that I did, what did I do it last week, 2 weeks ago, and I got tons of gold finger cards. They install telephones. And these came out, somebody just asked, they just joined the chat. These came out of an Allen organ sound cage. Pipe organs have pipes, but electronic organs have soundboards and sound cages. Of course, now they're all everything's going digital. So these all came out of Allen church organs. He must have been a tech or a repairer or an installer or something, because it's quite a load of boards, and I still have to. Hello from Dublin, Ireland. Welcome, Jonathan. What time is it over there in Dublin, Ireland? Let's see. It's 10 o'clock here. It must be about 4 o'clock over there, huh? So, yeah. That's kind of today. I don't know if Sharky's going to be on today. I know he's going to have some parts replaced. But maybe I'll catch some of you guys over on Scrapping Irish's chat this afternoon. And I think that's about it. I don't have anything else. Decisions to cut or not to cut. That is the question. Cut these fingers and not these fingers. So I've got to go through all 300 boards. Like I said, the ones that are high-grade telecom, yeah, this is fine. These are fine to go telecom high because they've got all their EPROMs. They've got stuff here. This is fine. This is debatable. That's really what it comes down to. Now, I will continue boxing up those today. I have old school Nintendo games. You're right. An interesting thing about the old Nintendo games is they took the old compact computer. The MIPS technology was sold to Compaq and then to Microsoft. And the boards inside of a lot of the gaming systems are like these. They're MIPS boards. So yeah, there is old technology that's still out there. All right, guys. Have a great day. If I don't see you this week, I want to wish everybody a happy, blessed New Year. I usually do go on Sunday morning somewhere between 9 and 11. And I try to get videos up during the week. I will repost the video. As I said, I'm still a little bit wobbly about where to put some of these. This is the problem. This becomes the problem between it being a high-grade telecom and a low-grade telecom. This becomes the problem right here. It doesn't have chips, it has circuitry. So there are those who would just cut and sell it as high-grade telecom. I don't want to get into that level of refining. I just don't. All right. Have a great day, everybody. God bless you. I will touch base on another video sometime soon. Like I said, I've got to go out this morning, and I have to try to deal with 6 inches of snow, and that's going to take me a very long time today. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're interested in older computers, computer technology, sorting boards, scrapping computers. I'm the channel for you. Bye-bye, guys. Stay wonderful. Thanks for chiming in. Always good to have an audience.